time of day to you, whoever's watching. It's your boy. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and also exactly the same as what I've been doing. I want to do a little bit of planning for a planner, which involves a lot of writing things out, getting my ideas down, looking at a lot of different pages. And I do streams like this actually quite often. I want to get both the sounds and the visuals of this, and sometimes you cannot do both. So, there, you should be able to get this noise, that's quite loud. So, doesn't actually progress to the next. Okay. There we are. Just line it up slightly. At some point it starts springboarding itself, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe I always just pulled it. Now that I think of it, I might always just pull it. I think I may have accidentally done a bit of a C. Looks pretty good. So this is going to be, oops, that's too far in. I have to take that from the back again. I am glad I turned off the microphone in this camera because it gets very sensitive. And these are a lot of clicks. There we are. Looks good. It's, oh, it's my microphone that's off that's peaking. Okay, excellent. That's the one I don't want. It's my first time recording in 4K with this new camera, this new document camera I have, but it is absolutely not my first time using this document camera. Although if you only look at my video uploads, you might think it is. I have done several streams. Oh, that is peaking on the microphone. That's active. That's too bad. Enjoy that click then. Several streams with this document camera. But the streams don't show up with my normal videos. You have to go over to the streaming section. So stick around, see if you like this type of content, and if you do, I have, at the moment, I have over a dozen. I think I have 13, a baker's dozen of live streams at my desk while I'm working. The difference is that those I'm usually not talking. I just started to type watch instead of water because I was trying to get you to watch my stuff. Let's see if I can overlap this. Ugh, good as new. Give it a slice. It's so convenient. Peel that off. Ooh, sticking to my finger. Static electricity. And I'll label that right over all my personal details that are on this. Perfect fit. Right over the name and the address. You can see what I'm taking, though. I don't give a shit. I might take some during this stream. I'm having a bad pain day. Looks like this cap isn't actually fitting very tightly, which is a shame because it's full of cleanish water. Ish. Take this last piece and put it on the cap so I remember which cap goes with which. No, I just like stickers and I wanted to stick it on something. Throw away that label end, and we are done with the label maker for now. I'll put that off to the side, and we'll get into what I'm actually doing. This is some homemade paper. That's the wrong ink bottle. Hold on. Aha. This little guy. Here's a bit of ink. Water-based writing ink. It's very old. I got it with a fountain pen unused in a antique store, so it had been sitting and it's not really mixed well with the pigment is not very mixed with the solution that it's suspended in, which is basically just water. But that doesn't matter when the tools we were using today, the dip pen. The tip is it looks more discolored on camera than it does in real life. I promise I'm trying to keep it clean to a degree. Put this back over here. Almost take out the ink bottle. Don't know if you caught that. And, you know, had a moment of panic, but everything's fine. And that fits perfectly in there and sits with the widest point caught at the mouth of the bottle. Perfect. Okay, so what I need to do today. Hold on, my microphone is infringing on my arm writing space. Get back up there. Alright, we're gonna go with that. It's a bit high, but so is my gain. Yeah, got a bit of ink around this point, but that's alright. I needed to, or I don't know if I needed to, but I started using the included sandpaper for the tip of this pen. And I think I've got a bit of an angle on the point now that one side, when I twist it to get more ink, is a bit broader than the other. It results in what you see here, this NG being the way that it is. Alright, so let's talk about planners and what I need from planners. I'll show you probably a few things. So, number one, hourly log work hours. And what that is, I actually only have this in a digital form. It'll take me a moment to pull up, but at my place of work, we have, we don't have an internal singular product that we work on and sell individually to or sell broadly rather to customers as a one-size-fits-all thing. We do a lot of customization, and I work very strictly in that customization section. So each time I work on a project of customization, I need to appropriately billet those hours to the customer that requested the customization so that I can be paid accordingly. So here, I'll have to angle it so I don't get the glare. It's got quite a bright light on the camera. But here's the log that I use in my, this is a super note. I can't recommend them enough, but I'm not sure I'm going to keep using it, which is why I need to think about my planner planning. It is so much easier for me to write out throughout the day. This day I did not because there was so much to do, but if we go to a previous day, you can see the sort of stuff I did to track what I was doing from hour to hour. That way, at the end of the day, I could add up, from 3 to 5 I was working on that UDF thing that I said. I was always UDF to the end. That last day where I had nothing written down, it was entirely UDF, and I just knew that. And sorry, I lost my train of thought before that parenthetical. I would add up those hours, and then I could log them in our system, which logs not on a time basis, but on a, here are your lists of projects. Here, log how many hours you did for each one, which of course makes sense. That's the way you should catalog it if you're trying to do billing. But for me, it's very difficult to, as I'm going, jot down, okay, that was 15 minutes here, and then I did 30 minutes there. Because then I come back to the previous project, I'm like, 15 minutes, wait, was that really 15? Didn't I work on that again? Should that be 30 minutes because I came back to it for another 15 minutes? Or did I already log that? I just forget these things. So this is essential. And I think it will be its own notebook, but that's a later thought. Hold on, I think I've got some build-up on my point. I can't use my typical fountain pens on my homemade paper. This is a reject paper, by the way. My partner is doing some bookbinding while I'm doing the paper making, and I give them only the paper that comes out well. A little wet now. I need daily to do unbounded. And what I mean by that is that in my planner today, this I can show you non-digitally. Oops, sorry. This is the planner that I use. You can buy it online in either spiral bound, hardcover, or digital formats. But let me show you. Let's see. So this is the amount of space I have for to-dos. So on here I put big picture items. It is currently Friday. Everything that I had written down Thursday, I already didn't do. But that I'm actually doing right now. So, you know what? I'm just going to mark it off so I don't have to mark it down here. Yesterday sucked. So I didn't get anything done. firm hubcaps. You know what? I did fine. Okay. Good to know. I could do the trash and mail today. So this is the type of to-do format that works best for me. I remember this. Actually, was it? I think I only got one that day. Maybe 1.5. Didn't eat breakfast. 3, I had cereal. Look them up. They're at Trader Joe's. And then I did have dinner around 7. That was it. And for breakfast today, also missed that because I was asleep. For lunch, whoops, it is 3:48 p.m. I think I'm going to skip it also. Let's just put in an oopsie. But for instance, for the ASMR recording, I'll show you the to-do list that I actually had to make to try and get it done yesterday. It didn't happen, but it was an attempt. I'm just going to cap that. Here we are. Atomic to-do for recovery day. Oops. Did that thing that it does sometimes where it eats my input. You have to go back and forth. I did that today. Did that today. I do have tea. I didn't actually do this well. But then, you know, I had to tell myself to put on clothes. What kind of clothes to put on? To put on perfume. These are all of the steps to create a live stream for me. Not that this is a live stream, but it's the same setup as my usual live stream, so it feels like one. Did I get everything? Mid-tier water, black ink, stack of homemade paper, dip pen and box, napkin, lots of viewability. Oh, I wanted to zoom this out more. Well, I don't want to do that now. Setup plover. Oh, that was related to that. Good music / Bluetooth. No, I like to listen to myself talk. Anyway, so I took to using the digital space for my to-dos because I needed that much space. Like, that wouldn't have fit in my planner, which I just tapped over there and you couldn't see because I didn't make my recording space bigger and zoom this out. Whatever. Train of thought. I should never let myself do parenthetical asides. I'll get further and further from the point. So where can I do these to-dos where they can be unbounded? Oops. Oh dear, did I let this sit for too long? I think I did. That must have been what happened last time. From now on, I think I'll put the pen in the ink to let it rest. Okay. You know what? No. I don't think so. Mid-term goals. And what I mean by this, right now I have them on a weekly basis. I think I'll put that down. This will make more sense if I call it tasks. So, you saw me say that I needed to move this trash and mail run, and I flipped over the page and I put it here. That's because this is a weekly bank of things, and as somebody whose mental and physical health often gets in the way of saying, like, oh, I should do that today, I'll do this the next day, I can't plan out like that because today could change. Tomorrow could be worse. I need to plan in the morning what of my bank of tasks I'm going to be able to do for that day. And then they'll go into the daily to-do. And I've had some thoughts about this. I was thinking about it, where I fill out one page of goals. And I reach the bottom. I've accomplished some of them. But once I have my next goal, I need them all in one place. So I'll forward these. And I'll have a bank up here that is things I didn't get to last week. These suddenly become in this rank. And then I add my other goals that I needed to add. And I do some of them. I get this one done. This one, though, I don't get done. And what that means is that this is something big that has been bothering me enough that I filled out 2 pages. And I still wasn't able to get it done just by having this bullet point. And what that signifies to me is that I need to take this out to its own page and say, how do I get this done? Break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. And then, so that will be a forward like this instead of like that. And this might go in here, but this is a daily to-do, so not sure about that relationship. I'm just emphasizing that this one would go here, and that one would go there. See, this one being underneath the line means that I've only given it one try, one period of trying. And then maybe I'll get it done the next time, and that's okay. Just like this one. So that's my thoughts for that. I don't know whether I want that to be sort of in the same place as a daily to-do. I feel like this needs to be connected. Like, these tasks go along with a daily to-do. Like, perhaps I could write in the margins, like, on page 14 I broke this out and got it done. Or maybe on December 14th I got it done. And then I could look up the daily page for that. And say, okay, what did it take to get this done? Or where did I start trying to get it done? Maybe it has 12:8 dash. I just realized it's really going to be telling when I'm recording this and when I post it, because I take forever to post things. I have my final part of the keyboard videos edited, and I just made one mistake and couldn't figure out how to undo it, and so I've not touched it in another week past when it was already done, and before that it was already done, and I just wanted to put it off because I wanted to look up how to do color correction. And then I fucked up something then, and now I'm putting it off again. Which leads me to big projects. show you how it needs a revamp. I wanted to make a specific cosplay of Chrome from Fire Emblem, my Blorbo Supreme, and I also wanted to keep track of audiobooks I was reading. But unfortunately, these subtasks, this couldn't solidify. The same way I need to break down big tasks into unbounded to-do lists. I wasn't doing that properly here. I would say audiobooks. Like, what is audiobooks? That's not a project. That doesn't have an end goal. You know what has an end goal? Packing list for a trip that I was making to the Swampford Con. Don't look that up. And so this page is finished. There's another one. There's one I got a new car, but I don't want to show you that. That completely divulges my identity, so I don't want to show you that. I thought about it, but no. That is a project that has 2 million views, and I want to keep that separate from this. People know about that. People can look that up. So here I have something. Podcasts. I wanted to make podcasts because I have this beautiful microphone and beautiful voice. But this is too vague. This just says podcasts. This is just a place to keep track of podcasts the same way the audiobooks page kept track of audiobooks. Like, no. This is an ongoing, recurring thing. This isn't going to help me. I need to say, podcast episode 8. How do I get it done? You know? I need to solidify my guest lists. I need to pinpoint a date that I'm going to do it, and invite everybody I need to invite. You know, I need to solidify it. Okay, I've recorded it. Then on that date, now I need to edit it. And I can say, like, edit 30 minutes, edit 10 minutes, as these subtasks. And this page should be for that, for subtasks. This is an index. Of things that I'd like to do. This doesn't help anything. See how none of these are crossed off? This needs a revamp. Shout out to the artist who did these stickers. This one's my friend now. Anyway, that may have also been an identity giveaway, but not as big and doxing as the other one. Anyway. No ongoing projects. End in sight. Any bad writing that happens, by the way, on this paper, don't blame it on the pen. It is the paper. This is my rejects paper, remember. Let me shout out this pen, hold on. Yes. Let's see. Depuis 1680, non, 70, Depuis 1670, l'encre Jacques Herbin parcourt le monde. La plume de verre était très en vogue au XVIIe siècle à Venise. Aujourd'hui, Jacques Herbin l'a fait revenir sur vos bureaux comme ornement, mais aussi comme instrument d'écriture. Les petits canaux présents sur sa pointe, permettent de retenir l'encre et d'écrire plusieurs lignes. Elles sont toutes façonnées à la main artisanalement. Dans le cas où votre plume se pointerait, n'hésitez pas à utiliser un papier abrasif grade 400 et frotter légèrement la pointe sur ce papier. Votre plume retrouvera son plaisir d'écrire. Basically what it's saying, it also says it in English, but I wanted to be a snob. Since 1670, they were made by, glass pens were like a big thing, and Jacques Herbin has been a big name there since those times. But today still is making these glass pens by hand, and if the point gets dull, you can sand it back to pointiness with the sandpaper provided, which is grade 400 sandpaper. What else do I need? I need some way of date tracking, planning, events. So here's the thing. Most of the time what you would do in this case is, let me get a page. Ignore the ghosting. This paper isn't great for fountain pens. I will say that if you want this planner, do not use fountain pens in it, or get a digital version and print it out yourself on better GSM paper. This is thin and not in the Tomoe river paper style. This is bleeding, not just ghosting. Anyway, so this is my monthly spread, and this is how much I did not use it. I didn't even write accomplishments, lessons, or notes. I wrote down a few things that I needed to remember, but I never consulted this. I always consulted just my weekly spreads and wrote the dates down in there. But if I'm moving away from a weekly focus based on, what I've said that I need, where it's just a period of tasks versus necessarily a week, then, and maybe this should be a week, I don't know. Maybe I should move on to the next page after a week regardless of whatever. But also there are some weeks where I can't do much, and I feel like moving one task to the next week just because I didn't get to it last week when I was sick isn't gonna work for me. That's the whole, my periods need to be flexible. But somewhere then, I need to keep track of dates. And what will that look like? Last time I thought I would do it. I wonder if it's still here. got the drill planner. So, and that was a very basic, just days of the week, very short blob for writing stuff. And I barely used it. But if I had some larger system, would that work? I don't know. I think I don't want it separate. I think this would need a connection to the daily. Yes, yes it would. Not necessarily to this weekly. As far as when I say a connection, I mean I think it might have to be in the same book in order for me to function. So I could do like the bullet journal thing where you have a monthly page, you set that up, and then your days after that, and then every month you make a new monthly page. So combo with daily page is in bujo style? Question mark. And that reminds me of another thing that I need that might go with the daily. Vibe check. Vibe checks. I'll tell you about vibe checks. Anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, let's see if I even have one that I could possibly show in this, because they're quite personal sometimes. Alright, I'll show this one. That's fine. There's a lot of feelings here, but it's okay. So, this is a vibe check I had after therapy, or no, before therapy, and I was dreading it because, you know, we talked about stuff the previous week and I really hadn't reflected on it or done any of the work since then. And then this is how I felt afterwards, actually a long time afterwards. I guess I didn't write in this book for a while, but you know, I just need to get my feelings out. This page is a really better example of it. Oh, that's right, I got my tablet around this time and I started writing in that instead. And that's where I put my vibe checks. I could probably get a good vibe check out of there, but this is a vibe check. I have other shit to do. I really love ink and paper. I can't focus on work because I'm thinking about paper and typewriting and ink and writing again, writing again, writing again. I can make bullet journals and loose leaf to-dos and scribbles and vibe checks, and notebooks don't have to be a bygone temptation I can never indulge without guilt. And my tea leaves, my dryer lint, my used scraps of paper can cycle into my clean slates of next week's guilt-free creative sketching and archiving what I love and how and the way my life will fill with color. That was a drag on the Supernote tablet for being black and white. Alright, I'll put that back away. So, that was a dream that I had that I couldn't stop thinking about even though I was working, that I wanted to make paper. And here I am. Is it good? Oh, actually, this is doing better than last time, as far as the bleeding. Yeah, when it's actually thick, it's pretty thin near the edges. It's actually thick. It doesn't bleed. It doesn't. Well, that's really thick, so whatever. It's doing well. It's holding up. I would flip this page over and use it again. That's the idea. Shut up. Okay, that was my phone. Oh, I know why. I have to pause. I need to make rice. Oh my god, my tea. Everything's wrong. It's cold. Alright, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna start some rice, microwave my mug, and be back in a second. Okay, we're back. That text was not even the reminder to go. What was I saying? Sorry, I got really distracted because I started seeing that there were skipped frames from encoding lag, which is, interesting. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. I think not. I think I'll just let this be what it is, and if it doesn't work, and the recording is really bad, then that's okay, because it was productive for me. My tea is hottened, my rice is cooking. The text I got was not even related to reminding me that the rice was cooking. I think that's what I was trying to say before I got distracted. Therefore, I'm ready to go. Now the vibe checks, like I said, loose leaf, but could also be in the daily, because the daily's unbounded. And something I am getting for the holidays is a A5 size, which is the size of the paper mold that I have, an A5 size binder. 6-ring binder. Hopefully with a hole punch as well, so that I can fill it with paper, fill it out as my sort of capture, some people call it. A capture notebook or a pocket notebook. I might need a pocket notebook also. And then I'll be able to take it out, rearrange it, recycle it, you know, anything. I hope this recording works out, because that thing I did with the paper was really cool. So what else do I need? What else do I need from my planning systems? What else would serve me? I'm not sure there's anything, but that's good, because now I can start thinking about, get another sheet of terrible paper out, what it would look like. Oh, what do you want? Okay, enjoy. Right. Excuse me, I am drinking tea. Maybe too quickly. And swallowing air. Okay, so how do we take this? That's where I need to. Oops, that doesn't work. How about this? Take that, put that back, put this here, and here we go. How do we take all of these and make it into a manageable system that isn't 6 notebooks? Because that is not manageable. That means I will not use it. So a bullet journal could look like this. etc. And I could say and what else? It's one of these two. I forget which one's Monday. So, if I had all of that written down, that would be my starting page. I would mark this, and then what else could I do? I wouldn't have this, so I have a whole page of space. Also, writing would be smaller, because I'm imagining that basically this A6 size paper, I'm imagining, is pages in a spread of my notebook, which is typically an A5 size or similar. It's starting to get dark in here. One moment. Ooh, sorry, I jostled you. Bumped your wires. Okay. So on the other side here, could have, I wanted to say goals, but like I have my own midterm tasks sort of thing. That would be its own. Maybe I could leave this space for reflections. I like to do a monthly reflection. I could even leave the second page for reflections because I don't know that I can fit, if I'm using a lined paper, I don't think it's going to have more than 30 lines. So maybe it would carry on to the next day, and then this could be the reflections page over here. Because this would be 16, 17, 18. And reflections could go over here. You could have, like, necessarily here, maybe reflections here, and then some sort of like focus, inspo. Decoration. I'm not big on decoration really, but just the idea of leaving a little space for, what is this month going to be about? And then as soon as you flip the page, we just start with Jan 1, and it becomes my space to do whatever I need. That's like big goals. I'm not out of ink. Big goals. And then each of those can be like, suddenly it's like, oh wait, no. Unload. Dishwish. Laundry. Things of that nature. I almost reached for the wrong mug because I have 3 different cups over there. I'm normal. But then, could I also leave this as a vibe check space? monitor that. I do this. Like I said, this is the reject paper. What is that? I tried putting tea leaves in at one point, but I don't think this is a tea leaf. What is that? What is that? Is that a bug? I don't even know. I don't want to know. I'm gonna assume it's tea leaves. Okay. But I wouldn't want to... Once again, this becomes not bounded, or this becomes bounded, because if my to-dos take up the space, then now where I've designated vibe checks, this throws that out of whack. And also the idea that vibe checks should be anywhere. I should be able to pick up a random sheet of paper and go, vibe check. Because I'm just getting words down. See how much better this writes when it's on real paper. That's too bad. I'm gonna perfect this, and I'm gonna figure out what instruments work best on it. Paper. Paper and pen work together, you know? I did try microns. I was just seeing how good it was for drawing and stuff. Markers actually take pretty nicely to it. Like, they definitely bleed through, but, like, markers always bleed through, so... What are you looking for? Oops. At this point, I'm just running out of ink. I just thought of something. It's another place I spend a lot of time, and often I'm watching my partner play video games, and we're, you know, conversing, but sometimes they're focusing, and it's nice to have something to do with my hands. So, I really like that idea, but also, I'm just going to take this away, back down here. Remember, there's something else I need. And you know, I think that is going to have to go in here. That in the middle of my day, wherever I am in my to-do list, if I'm here, I'll flip to a new page. Oops, I forgot, I've already used that. I'll flip to a new page, pretend this is a new page. Or I'll just do this and I'll say, you know, meeting with boss. And I'll write down my little notes, and I have a section where it's always follow up and key points. Now something critical though is that if it's a team meeting, that's where my tablet comes into play. It's basically a better version of the Remarkable. Don't get the Remarkable. Okay, actually, I shouldn't say that. They both are very good. I have used both of them. The Remarkable only for a short moment, but the person I was speaking to who let me try it, she really liked it. She was really a big fan of it. I just couldn't get over the feel of the pen on the tablet, which they advertise as being like really lifelike to pencil and paper. I came into it feeling like I wanted pen on paper, and so I was really disappointed in the end. I don't know why this is getting poppy or wind feed, because I'm speaking into a pop filter. What the frick? Anyway. So if you really prefer pen on paper and not fountain pen, I need to express that. It's not like fountain pen. It is like a nice ballpoint pen that never dries up, that always has a smooth line of ink. That's what it feels like. If you like that better than you like pencil, then you're going to like the Supernote. If you like the pencil on paper, and you might be an artist if you do, and that's really great, because Remarkable has some great, like, black and white, yes, but, with some grayscale, great art programs and art tools, brushes, things like that you can do great sketches on, just on the fly, and feel like you have a notebook, a sketchbook with you at all times, instead of actually carrying a sketchbook. Okay. The reason I would want the meetings, though, to be in the daily, is to keep track of what day it was when I had that meeting. But the reason I might want it in the Supernote is because the Supernote, like the Remarkable, will translate your handwriting into text. I find that the Supernote is better at that for the style of my writing. Like you can see, I have a lot of cursive. The Remarkable tends to favor print much more and will not be as kind to your handwriting if you are a loop-de-looper. Anyway. Sorry. Lost my train of thought because I heard the partner come in. I already messaged them and let them know that I'm recording, so they shouldn't come in. I told them to communicate their love telepathically. But it still distracted me. Because I love them too. And I felt the telepathic love. Anyway. So I think what I'm looking at here is that, yes, I need to do a sort of bullet journal setup of a monthly page, focus, inspiration, and then daily tasks. But where does this come in? I think on January 1st I will have this happen, that January 2024, inspo blah blah blah, the next page is actually not going to be January 1. It's going to be ongoing task bank 1. I probably shouldn't have done this in A5 or A6, I mean, but I did. So here we are. That's amazing. Every time I draw a line, the fold automatically creates because water gets into the paper, and it's so thin that it just almost disintegrates along that fold, and it immediately creates the fold. Like you saw me just kind of like in half, and it's exactly, oops, don't break that. It's exactly on the fold. Like it doesn't even fold that well over here because I drew crooked, and it's not showing. write my tasks. I already drew this out, but this would be the next page. And I think something fun I could do is word for finishing. I could say like, I want a new mic stand because I've got a sort of tripod mic stand, standy stand. You know, it's like I drew that too big. Oh well. Like this. The microphone's here. It doesn't like being angled. Like my face is right here in this. I'm not wearing glasses, but I'm gonna put them on anyway. I don't know what hair I've got. Let's do this. La, 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 la. I'm a pretty princess with huge boobs, amazing tits, a great personality. My ass is, you know, average. Anyway, do you get demonetized for this? I'm not monetized in the first place. Anyway, so that is my current setup, and then I can look at my desk, and my desk is L-shaped, and there's no way I'm putting it here because I have drawers here, and I'd like to open them. So, the real solution is going to be I have a monitor stand here for my monitors. I should just dip this pen again instead of like scraping out the last vestiges of ink. Monitor stand with monitors here, and I'd like to clip a mic to either side of these. I'll see what's around, and then be able to just like swing it into my face, you know, like a normal person. I have so many places I could clip it onto. Like, could it be here? Could it be there? Could it be on the desk itself? It would have to be in the back, actually, not there, because I've got another drawer right here in front of me. And I've got a lot going on here. I have my steno machine here. I've got my keyboards to the side. They're already blocking the drawers. Like, everything's a little bit fucked about my setup. Don't worry about it. Anyway, enough about my tits. And how they get in the way of everything. I think, though, this reward should go when I have task bank 2, and I have items that I had to forward from it. Like, I finished this and that, but then this one had to come across my unfinished previous task. And for this, I could say the reward for clearing out everything before I fill up this page with tasks that I need to do is going to be mic stand. Something like that. I think that would work really well. Anyway, that does need to be in with the dailies because I need to, when I'm pulling lists of tasks to do, I need this to be on hand. I need this to be visible. I need it to jump out at me as like, hey, these are the things that gotta get done. If you're trying to plan your day, then the first thing you do is you need to look here and see what needs to be done. And the second thing you need to do is look here and be like, oh my god, it's somebody's birthday. I need to text them. I don't know which comes first, but you know, things like that. So I need all of this together. So that's going to be my bullet journal, I think. Does anything else need to go in there? Big projects list I like to keep separate because that is the sort of thing that's just like, it's the evening, I've had a couple, and I'm like, dang, I should make a Google quiz of how to... Don't worry about it. I have crazy ideas. And they just happen to me. And I fill up a whole notebook with them. vibe checks don't need to be in there. The vibe checks do not need to be in the daily. I'm gonna canonize that. Okay, so, and the hourly log, that's right. The hourly log is only for work. So I think this is going to be its own notebook. And it's just going to sit at my desk. And that's going to be its job, is just hourly tracking. I really liked having the dot grid for it, but I only have one dot grid notebook, and that I would hate to use for work because my sister, designed the cover for me, and it feels like that should be used for something personal. I was going to use it for calligraphy, but it's really actually not great for calligraphy, I find. I would rather repurpose. Let me show you. One day I'll remember that I've reorganized my drawers. This is the one. Okay. So I have a staff paper notebook. I am not a musician. I don't write down a lot. Oh, this is a really funny song. I uploaded it to my other YouTube channel and then it somehow exploded. Of course, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's Nissan. Liam Neeson's Nissan is Nissan and Nissan. We had to try to plot out that rhythm. This is the wrong rhythm. This is the correct one. Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's Nissan. Liam Neeson's Nissan. Liam Neeson's Nissan, his Nissan is on a Nissan. It all fits. Doesn't need to be. I don't know what my sweet dear lover was doing when they tried to do complex rhythms. It's all 16th notes. Liam Neeson's Nissan is Nissan and Nissan. This is a transcription of Silent Night. You see, I'm not using it. These are the only pages I've used. And suddenly it's completely blank. I saw I was looking up how to practice handwriting, and there was some pseudo-influencer / actor, I don't even know who it was, some beautiful man talking about handwriting and calligraphy and ways you can practice. And he had a board that reminded me of my music classes that were, instead of these 5 lines for music stuff, there was a 6th line. And I thought, I could just imagine the 6th line, just like I imagine the 6th line when I have to do notes off the staff when I'm writing. So I'm thinking I'll just ignore that bottom line. Well, whatever. I'm looking at a blank page. I don't need to look at the same blank page. Okay. So yeah, I think I might start using this to practice calligraphy instead. This is a completely blank notebook. I could do almost anything with it. Except that this is completely worn out, this elastic. It's a very old notebook. Alright, I'm going to put it back in the right drawer because I'm going to remember that I switched those drawers. So, hourly log is its own notebook, and it might be the one that my sister made for me, or I might see I'm getting new notebooks in the mail. I might see if one of the ones I get works and has enough lines to be an hourly log for my purposes. I tried a few different hourly logs and shapes and sizes, and I really like when I can break it down into the quarter hours. So basically, I have 4 lines dedicated to 1 hour. That really helps me. Sorry, that was loud. That's my thinking noise. It really helps me to log things because separate date tracking and planning is going to be like so. Big projects list is its own over there. Midterm tasks we've just planned out here. Daily unbounded to do is going to look like this. Meeting notes. Unsure if I'm going to keep it in here. I'll try that for now, and eventually I may move it to its own notebook, because that also just has to sit at my desk. In fact, yeah. No. Own notebook. So I can leave space and then make sure that I have enough space for my to-dos and really just focus on doing. Supernote. Or one or the other. I'm not going to put it into my bullet journal. The only things in my bullet journal are going to be day tracking, midterm tasks, and a daily to-do. Okay? That's really helpful. I think I'll probably need to think more about the revamp that I want to do. And I'm getting so many notebooks from work that I don't think I need to really think about meeting notes being in a dedicated notebook. But this is good for today. This is a lot of progress, I'd say. This is helpful. Now I'm just rinsing this off in water. It's not quite clean water, but that's okay, because I'll just wipe it off with this and begin. And it'll be good as new. And that's how easy it is to use a dip pen. I really like it. Let me cap this and the other thing before I spill it all over my desk. Oops, gotta drop it on my desk. See? That one just fell out of the cap. And I'll put this back away. Come on, sit in there. Cover it with the foam just for funsies. Extra protection. I don't really think it needs this. I kind of found the foam lying on my desk and I was like, what is this? And then I realized it fit this box. Set that aside. Put this back in its drawer. Put this back in its drawer. It's not that wet, right? Yeah. Okay. Put that back in the drawer. And save these for reference. Alright.